so much. We appreciate the support. So you know how we do it. And if you don't, you're chiming in. Let us know where you're chiming in from. What city, what state, we want to know. From coast to coast, and we can cover as well. And also, if you have been here for the very first time, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. But if you've been here multiple times, just put a R for return. And if you've been counting, put the number in the chat as well. So welcome. We are so glad you're able to spend some time here with us on the Juice Show. So I want to start to shout people out. Who is out there joining us from wherever you are? We appreciate it. Oh, who is going to put in the chat first? Otherwise, I'm just going to call you out. But who is definitely joining us today? We are so glad you can be here with us. Oh, people are coming in now. Absolutely. On this sunny, sensational Sunday. Yes. I don't know where you are, but the sun is definitely shining where I am. So absolutely enjoy. All right. Rich Rising family, ATLGA in the building. Come on in. Thank you, Kim. I'm telling you, she is one of our big supporters, and we love it. I don't think she's missed a Sunday since we started. So we appreciate you every single Sunday. Thank you ever so much. Yes, happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads out there. Absolutely. Thank you. We definitely want to do that. Grand Rising family, happy Father's Day. Yes, Felicia. Thank you. Welcome from West Palm Beach, Florida. Awesome. Thank you ever so much. Who else is out there joining us? Absolutely. I'm sure the dads are out there thinking this is our Sunday now. What we gonna do? What we gonna plan to do? Because moms get a lot more advertisement. So dads are coming along. We appreciate it. We absolutely do.
We ain't gonna get the video, Bobby.
I need to share.
We got time. We got time. We got time. All right, go ahead. Go right ahead. We about a minute early. So yes, what they're talking about is we got talent behind the scenes of people that are able to just create videos and all kinds of things. So we have our own video. So enjoy the music when it pops up. Feel free to dance if you want to. It never gets old for me. I enjoy it. Absolutely. Yes. And what I'll end up doing is welcoming you all, because the Juice Show is like this. We definitely are having the conversations we wish we would have had around the dinner table. And so we talk about finances and real estate. And the most important real estate is the one we're going to be talking about today. So I don't want to spoil it just yet. So absolutely. Hey, Alvin from Ohio. Happy Father's Day to you. Enjoy the music. Yes, how far will you go to get the juice, the power? So yes, let's get this party started. All right. First of all, we're going to start out with the Juice Crew, and that would be James and Jerry and Bobby and Teresa and myself, coming to you live every Sunday talking about what? Bringing you the juice. So I am truly excited about introducing today's guest. I'm just gonna go for it because I cannot contain myself. So he grew up in Indianapolis, where his early life was very difficult due to abuse and abandonment. He defined himself as a street kid, a developed a hardness that created a me against the world mentality. He said on the outside, he appeared to be normal. But on the inside, the pain controlled who he was and how he viewed the life. Sports became life for him. And after joining the Army, he honed in athleticism and started to develop a champion mentality. His goals was to be the best natural, I said natural, yes, natural bodybuilder in the world. And he quickly climbed the ladder after placing first in his first teenage competition. He admits that he was initially attracted to the bodybuilding because it was a place he could hide his shortcomings and insecurities. However, after traveling to different competitions around the world, he began to find himself through his faith in God. And over time, he was able to deal with and overcome the emotions and challenges from his past. He was able to apply everything he learned from his early life to fuel what he does now today. His life is now fulfilled by helping other people transform physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually of themselves. I just want to name a few things of accolades because I'm telling you, natural bodybuilding, the things that he's accomplished, are you kidding me? So let me go ahead and just share just a snippet of that with you, which is this. Some of it, not all of it. Natural bodybuilder of the decade, 21-time world champion, 7-time Mr. Natural Universe, Mr.
Woo!
Natural Olympia, Mr. Natural World. We're talking 7 times for each one of those. Overall, 250 titles. This is just to name a snippet of the things that he has done. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you, Ron Williams. Woo! Oh my
Woo!
goodness. Welcome, Ron, and happy Father's Day to you. Take it
Much.
away,
I am
guys.
so glad to be on the show today, and it's been a long time coming. I'm ready.
It's
Let's
been
do
a
this.
long time. It's been a long time. So I just got like to bag that up a minute because I don't think she like did any justice in talking about all the accolades, guys. This guy is a doctor in ministry. He's a preacher. This guy is a coach, as you guys can see. Man, he has so many positive accolades to really go through. And so we're going to do our best to dive in deep and get as much out of this guy as we possibly can, y'all. So sit back. If you guys got questions, please put them in the chat. We definitely going to get to them, right? But because he is a preacher, guys, today is Sunday. We always talk about this as a real estate church. We're going to have him lead us in prayer. All right.
Awesome. Oh God, we thank you this morning for your goodness, your mercy, and thank you for your grace, Lord. I thank you for the Juice Show. Thank you for this opportunity that you have given us to just converse and go back and forth. I ask that you would bless it and that you would bless the listeners, Lord, that you would bless their ears and that there would be some wisdom that is transferred to them. It doesn't matter how much I know, but how much is palatable to them. Let there be something transferred that will bless their lives. And we give you the glory, the honor, and the praise for it. And God, we ask that you would bless the fathers around the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Amen. Amen to that, Ron. Oh, I'm so excited to have you, Ron. I was checking out some of your classes last night and just preparing for the day, and I was just blown away by it, man. You're definitely an amazing individual. So for those who don't know you that's tuning in today, give us a little bit of backstory. You can go as far back as you want, if you want to go childhood or a teenage or whatever, but give us an understanding of Ron Williams.
Okay. As I've said, I'm an open closed book. There's nothing that's hidden, nothing that I'm not willing to talk about. So any question you guys have, I'm willing to answer it. But I came from a pretty humble upbringing, poor, some of the worst um, circumstances you can imagine. And everybody thought that I would be the kid that would be left behind. Everybody thought that I would be dead or in jail before I was 18. Everybody thought that I wouldn't make it and no way I could ever be successful. But they were wrong because God had a different plan for my life. And I just thank God that that perfect time, I made some really, really good decisions. I came from a background of being suicidal, a background of hopelessness, but I noticed that you can change a lot of things in your life. You can change your shoes, your coat, your car. You can change your address. You can change so many things, and it won't make a significant difference. But the moment you change your mind, you'll change your life. And man, I changed my mind, and my life has not been the same.
Amen moment.
Yes,
That's
sir.
good. So you grew up. You started out in Indianapolis. I think
Yes,
we have
sir.
members maybe from Indianapolis that's on the call. We're also live on Facebook right now, YouTube. So all right. So and then Indianapolis, and then what did you right after I guess right after high school? What did you do? Did you go into college, or what did you do immediately after that?
Well, actually, I was illiterate until 28 years old. I couldn't read, man. And I actually went into the military. And the military gave me several waivers because of my athletic ability. I played 4 sports in the military. I played 4 sports on an international level before I turned 20. So, with that being said, sports was the thing that got me by. I was really, really good at it, regardless of what it was that I participated in. I could actually, play just about anything. So I went in the military, didn't really learn to read till I was 28 years old. So I was able to skate through life because of my physicality and my ability to perform.
Right. Okay, got it. Do you feel like you were like born with the talents and skills to go into sports, or was something that you had to kind of pretty much work at to get to develop?
Well, certain things just gifted, like as platform diving. I didn't, in the school that I went to, the high school, we didn't have a pool. I would watch Greg Uganis do a dive. You could talk me through that dive, and I couldn't do it. You could give me words and give me an explanation, but if I could see it, I could mimic it. So I would take a sweatshirt and put the sweatshirt on, watch Greg Uganis on a video or the TV, and just mimic what he did, man. And I would go to a swim competition. I swim the IM, which is the individual medley. My body's not made for that. You guys have seen me. I've got these short, thick limbs. When the IM, you swim the butterfly, the freestyle, the breaststroke, and the backstroke, and my body's not made for that. But I would win in those competitions. And I found out Black people, our bones are heavier, so sink. We sink. And that is a physical difference between the races, black and white. Our bones are heavier, so we're more apt to sink and not apt to float.
Hey,
So black people can swim, huh?
Hey,
no,
you see me in the water. Even today, you can go on YouTube and see me swim and see me dive, platform dive.
hey, the joke in our neighborhood is that black folks got a bone in their ankle, which a lot don't allow them to swim right.
Yeah,
Hey,
we can swim though.
right.
We can swim. I'm telling
Oh yeah, I thought.
you.
So let me ask you this, Ron. What what do you wish someone would have told you during your early years?
I wish someone would have told me that I don't have to become what my history says I have to become. My experience can't dictate the outcome of my life. My experiences are not who I am, but just something that I've gone through. And I can use them as a platform and wisdom and knowledge to launch me forward. Failure is not failure until you try the last time.
Mm,
Did you
mm.
hear what I said, man?
Oh
Failure is
yeah, I
not
love it.
failure until you
You
try for the
tried.
last time, because you didn't give up and you didn't quit. But if you try one more time, you may just succeed.
That's
I know
deep.
that's right.
That's deep, y'all. You're gonna get some nuggets today, y'all. I told you, I'm gonna get some nuggets today, right? So let me ask you this, Ron. So on behalf of the Jew crew, right? We all appreciate your service to the military. I haven't done that, right? So I appreciate everything you've done, right? How do you apply the discipline you learned from the military to areas of your life? Like,
That's a really good question, man, because prior to going to the military, I had a certain amount of discipline, but I didn't have discipline in certain areas of my life. And getting up in the morning, you had to get up at 5 o'clock. You had to have your bed made. You had to polish your shoes. I mean, you had to go out, stand in the cold, march, learn, different disciplinary techniques and follow orders. I didn't want anybody telling me what to do, man. And in the military, they own you. They own you and they tell you exactly what to do, when to be there, when not to be there. If you don't, you get in trouble and there's no way around it. So it taught me a great deal of discipline that I could utilize throughout the rest of my life. Even in my walk with God, there's some things that I discipline myself to do that maybe I would not have done if I hadn't had that experience.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful, brother. Wow. You know, I wanted to rewind a little bit because you mentioned that you were illiterate until you were 28 years old. And while you said that, I was kind of stuck. I was thinking, man, how did he get that far not being able to read and be able to function in the world and get to where you got at that time? So how is that possible? I'm still blown away by that. So how did that work out for you and what challenges did you have, because that's pretty much everything. Everything is you have to
You know what?
read in order to know where to go, what to do, how to do it. So could you dive a little deeper with that?
Okay. Yeah, with that being said, I had challenges. I had tremendous challenges, but just because when I went in the military, I was in school, and sometimes they would give me a grade that I didn't deserve because of my athleticism,
Mm,
and I had to have a certain grade to continue to participate. And so the teachers would give me whatever I need because I was a superstar on the track team. I was a superstar as I said, the swim team, and I played football. So with that being said, it got me into the military. My grades got me into the military, but man, I had to have somebody help me fill out the application. I mean, when I went into the military, there are certain things I just couldn't read, but I was on the all army sports team, and all I did was play sports.
mm,
When I got out of the military, I worked for the government as a GS position, and I went to a physical fitness academy. And the thing about the military is most everything is hands on. Everything is hands on. Your job, you learn it hands on. So there was not a whole lot of reading that I had to do. And what I had to do, I had people around me that would help me through it. So I just kind of skated through life. And that's what I find that is so sad about athletes is that they're given too much space to be less when it comes to being able to read, being able to do those things that most people have to have. At 28 years old, I learned how to read because that's when I started developing my relationship with God. I always say that God taught me to read by reading the Bible. And but when I would start to read the Bible, it sounded like this. It sounded like this. Therefore, we ought to give more earnest. And then I would read a sentence like that, and then I would go back and read it 5 or 6 times. I would look every single word up to find out what that word meant. And so I learned things that most people they don't get an opportunity to learn when it comes to scripture. Because some words say one thing, but they mean something completely different in the Greek and in the Hebrew. And man, learning, I mean, it was such an expansive thing for me because I had to learn things that you guys don't have to think about, like words. I mean, I would write a word and I would just sound it out and write what it sounded like. Found out that wasn't the word at all. Like you could say the word sent, man, you can spell that 5 different ways. No, where did the K come from? It's N-O. How you get a K? How do you get a K in there? Um, um, so there's so many things I had to learn about the English language and how to put words together, not just the way they sounded, but where that word came from will determine so much about that particular word. Was this steeped in the Greek or was it steeped in Old English? And if it was, then it gives it a different enunciation and also a different meaning. And so I had to find out all of that and learn it. So it's been a journey, man.
Wow, that is amazing. That's an amazing story, brother. That's an amazing story. So, with that said, and from the humble beginnings of where you started, you built, success across multiple disciplines. So, what led you to explore and get involved with, the real estate world and Bob Snyder?
Well, one is, and I really thank God for Bob Snyder. I love Bob Snyder. And I want to tell you something. Your mindset and your thought process will determine who you hang out with. Your mindset and your thought process will determine who you hang out with and who desires to hang out with you. Wow. Man, when I was born and while I was being raised in the ghetto, that was my platform and I felt comfortable there. I wouldn't have felt comfortable with the Bob Snyder. I had to elevate Ron Williams to meet the level of a Bob Snyder. So I always tell my wife, you wouldn't have gave me the time of day in my early years because of who I was. I'm not that same person. What we have here, what you see physically is only a robot. Just like, I mean, it's only a robot. What controls this outer appearance is what's in my head, my mind. What you see is controlled by something you can't see. It controls that which is intangible. My thoughts are not tangible, but they are very real, and they control me, how I act, who I interact with, how comfortable I am, and my ability to grow is not in my physical body, but it's in my mind. So with Bob Snyder and real estate, I've never done real estate, but through my prayer life, I prayed and I asked for connections to be made. And what happens is everything that you see in the known world or the world that you can see was created by something that you can't see. So in the room that you're in right now, there's activity going on, but you're not privy to it because you can't see what's taking place, but it's very real. You'll find in the Bible that there are angels, and everybody has an angel. Some of our angels work overtime trying to protect us from from the things that we do. But angels, you can't really see them unless God allows you to see them. But there's something taking place in the unseen world. So as I am praying, there's a network that's taking place in the heavens. I'm here on earth. There's a network taking place. And all it needs is a divine appointment. I had a divine appointment with Bob Snyder. and we became really, really good friends. And I began to train him, and he opened the door and said, "What you've given me, I want to give to my community." And I asked Bob Snyder, I mean, Bob Snyder is a good, godly man. I asked Bob Snyder, I said, "Listen, I made $100,000. Let me give you 20% of it for allowing me to help these people in Renatas." He said, "No, Ron." He said, "No, to $20,000. No, you just keep doing what you're doing and helping the people." Man, uh, so Bob Snyder is really a good man, but that was a divine appointment. That was something that was prayed into existence. A lot of the relationships I have are prayed into existence, but my mind is different. I wouldn't have been able to sit down and talk to Bob intelligibly unless my mind could meet the same level where Bob is. I sat down in Bob's office. I had been praying. This is another prayer I prayed. I prayed that I could be an instructor for Bob. I said, "But I don't do real estate. I don't do real estate." And I remember when I went into his office, we were sitting down. I cooked lunch for him, went over, and we were sitting down talking. He said, "Man, this is really good." And I had gone through a spiritual experience 3 weeks prior. And for 3 weeks, I cried from this experience that I had on this cruise with my dad. Because me and my dad, we came back together. We're one, and me and my mom, we are one. I was abandoned by my mother and father as a child, but we came back together as an adult. And then we have the best relationship you can ever imagine. But let me tell you this. So I sat in Bob's office and I wanted to be an instructor, but I don't do real estate. I just train people. But I want to be an instructor some other way that I could give back to Bob. So I sat in his office and I've been crying for 3 weeks. Keep that in mind. And he says, "Ron, buddy, I want you to be one of my instructors." And all of a sudden I do like this. I said, "No, Lord, don't do this." But tears came from the back of my head. I could feel them coming to the front of my. I said, "Not now, not in front of Bob. God, please don't do this." And I'm crying and I got my head like this. And he says, "Well, Ron, if you're going to be one of my instructors, I mean, I need you to give me an answer. Do you want to do it?" I said, "Don't tell my wife I cried in your office, man." And he laughed and laughed and laughed, man. I said, "Please don't tell my wife I cried in your office." And he said, "I see that you're human." He said, "This is good. I like this. You're crying." That's how I became one of the instructors for Renatus. And we talked for a while, and I thought, what a great name. Your most valuable real estate. Because if you don't take care of this real estate, none other. The other real estate doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a hotel, if it's a mansion, it doesn't matter if you're not in good shape, if you don't take care of you, if your body is sick, you're not in your right mind, if this is not taken care of, somebody else will enjoy what you built.
Mm, powerful. Wow.
Ron,
So
oh
true.
my God,
So true.
yes. So Ron, let's talk about mindset, because that was the part I was at when I stopped this morning. You went deeply and eloquently into mindset. And you mentioned having a scarcity mindset, an average mindset, and then abundant mindset. Give us a little training on that today, because I think this can help people understanding mindset.
One thing about mindset is um, you have to change your thought process. And most of our mindset is developed as a youth. And the mindset that we first have was forced on us. It was given to us without our stamp of approval. It was the experiences that we have. It was the area that we were raised in. It was our parents. They gave us a mindset. The schools that we went to, the friends that we had, all of that helped us develop a mindset and a thought process. And when we come to the place where we realize that this mindset or what my life is yielding doesn't work for me, If you don't like what your life is yielding, change your mind. Just change your mind. That's all you have to do. But most people don't know that. And I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys today. Just really, really, really honest. The majority of my clients that I work with are white people, or they're Caucasians. I mean, they're Asian people, or they're people from another race, which is really sad because we as a race and a culture, we find it more valuable. We find it more valuable to work in other areas rather than self improvement, um, personal development. We say, I can't afford that, not realizing that if we do more personal development, more spiritual development, that it's going to raise the bar on who we are, how we think, and how we progress going forward. We say, I can't afford it. Well, you can't not afford it if you want to be successful. Like you guys, what you are doing, you're investing in who you are as people. I didn't realize this. And even as an older person, I was coaching a guy. His name is Steve Schallenberger. I've got his book back here, but he's a coach for Rwanda, the king of Rwanda. He's a coach for Mercedes. He worked with Covey, the Dallas Cowboys. He coached them. And so I go on his podcast. I say some things that dazzle him. He said, I want you to coach me. Man, I start coaching this guy. And just the little nuggets while I'm coaching him that he's dropping, I'm thinking, I need him to coach me. So he also became my coach. While I was coaching him, he became my coach, took me to a whole nother level, man, just by hiring him as my coach. And I don't think that I would have hired him if I hadn't spent time with him. And I would have missed out. Just sitting and talking to Bob. I would work out with Bob at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. I would be there half hour early at least, and I would study in my car. But as I would go in, and me and Bob, as we're conversing through this training, he doesn't realize it, but he's coaching me. Coaching me. Bob's got so much knowledge and information that we never get a chance to tap into. Just the way he lives, how he became who he was. He wasn't born rich, but he developed. He went through mindset training. I mean, some of the things that he's gone through are just brilliant, man. So if you don't like what your life is yielding, change your mind. And mindset, you can have a poverty mindset, you can have a prosperous mindset. And it's not the conscious mind, it's the subconscious mind. It's where your belief systems are, and those belief systems are developed early on in life. And my belief system wasn't working for me. My belief system told me I was worthless. I was hopeless. I'd never become anything. And I didn't like that. And my first mindset training came from scripture. When the world told me I was not, I couldn't, God never told me that. He said, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. He says, you're the head and not the tail. You're the above only, not the beneath. He says, you're the apple of my eye. Your worth, what is your worth? I'm not worth anything. No, what is your worth? I'll tell you. When you go to the store and you buy something, the way you can tell the worth of that thing is how much it costs. It doesn't matter what anybody says. If you want that, you've got to pay what's on the tag. So that's really the worth of it. What am I worth? What did it cost for God to get me back? The life of Jesus Christ. It costing Jesus dying on the cross. That's my worth. That's what I'm worth. So forget what everybody else says about Ron Williams. God is the one who created me. He determines my worth. I agree with him.
It sounds like your faith in God is what gave you really the belief in yourself. or did you start developing that before, your faith in God? I did, because
I'm gonna tell
yeah,
you. I'm gonna
you
tell you
are,
this.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. I won the first Mr. Universe. I was not at 28 years old. It's when it was the saddest day of my life. I won when my first, I said, when I win the Mr. Universe, I'm gonna prove to the whole world I'm not what they thought I was. I'm not a loser. I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. I won the Mr. Universe. And I'm like, I am not happy. I didn't have the fulfillment that I thought I was going to have because my fulfillment was not in winning a competition. There was a hole inside of me that only God could feel, and there were smaller holes of hurt and trauma that only forgiveness could heal. So God filled some holes, and my forgiveness healed some holes. And when that took place, God began to show me who I am, and I am is a powerful, powerful two-word statement. Whatever you say after I am are the most important words that you will ever say. It doesn't matter what somebody else says about you. Oh, you're dumb, you're stupid. It's until you agree with it. When you say I am, it goes into your subconscious. I am not good enough. Ooh, bam, that just destroys me. When you say I am the man, that's who you are.
Lastly, for Jerry jumping there, I was gonna say, from the time you made the decision that you was gonna become a world champion or win that Mr. Natural, or what the award that you won, what age were you, and then what age were you when you won it at 28? But what age did you make that decision? Because I want to see how long did it take to become that champion. Because some people believe in overnight when we talk about scarcity mindset. You talk
Yes,
about that in
yes.
the class about overnight success. Talk about
Mhm. Well, one is I became Mr. Universe 2 years prior, 2 years prior to ever stepping on the stage. I'd already won that competition. And what it did is it created, well, the first competition I won, it was years of preparation. But in 1989, I won it a second time, and it took me a year. What I did is I found out everybody who had won this competition in the last several years. I found out how they train. This is how I developed I am statements and I am actionable beliefs. This was years ago. I was a young guy. I was probably 29 at this time. And I had gone on a 40-day fast, lost 52 pounds. And so I'm a little guy now, but I'm training to be Mr. Universe. So what I did is I went 1 year in advance and I saw myself on stage and I took second place. So I closed my eyes again and I said, at this time, I have a relationship with God. I said, God, what is it going to take for me to win the Mr. Universe? So I went all the way into the future, a whole year in advance, and I saw something in my physical body that I had never seen before. I'm visualizing now. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools that you'll ever use. And I started visualization when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. And the reason I started visualization is because the world looked better when my eyes were closed. Oh, that almost brought a tear to my eye, man. The world looked better when my eyes were closed because I could see, when my eyes are open, I'm stuck to this room that I'm in. But when I close my eyes, I can go outside of this room. Oh, I can go to Paris with my eyes closed. I can I can do great things with my eyes closed, but then I come back to reality. So I use this visualization. I would close my eyes and I would see myself winning. And I asked God, what is it going to take for me to win? He showed me a picture of what I needed to look like. Then I backed up to right here and right now. And I put together a plan that would lead me there. Now, that's reverse engineering. Did you know God reverse engineers everything? Everything. He already has an end before he starts. That's why they call him the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He knows the end before he ever starts. So I backed all the way up to right here, right now, put together a plan, and I stayed on that structure until I reached the Mr. Universe. I was frustrated. Let me tell you why I was frustrated. Because I knew I was Mr. Universe, but nobody knew it but me and God. And when the day I stood on stage, they said short class. I'm the short class, and then you have the tall class, the medium class, and the medium tall class. They said short class short class winner for the whole world. I did like this. I raised my hand. They said, Ron Williams. They thought I was being prideful, but I knew something that they didn't know. And then everybody went off stage. Then they brought all of the class winners out to see who's the overall winner. I looked up. I do like this. They said, Lord, the judges said, he sees something up there. He's looking up there, guys. And I did like this. And they said, overall winner. I did like that again. They said, he knew before we even said it. Ron Williams. And the way I felt, it wasn't like, oh, I'm so happy I won. It was like, I knew it. I told you guys I was Mr. Universe. Now it just proved I'm not frustrated anymore because I expected it. I expected it because I had already lived it. So when it comes to that, visualization is so important. Mindset with visualization is so important. And that's one of the things that I teach people in the courses that I teach. My one-on-one clients, I teach them how to bring into existence who they are, their dream. Because dreams and visualization, dreams are for those who are asleep. Once you have a dream, my job is to teach you to wake up, roll your sleeves, and let's go make this thing happen. How are we going to bring this thing? Let's write a plan. Let's get a format. Let's stop dreaming. Dreaming is for sleepers.
Man, he just dropped it on y'all. Y'all ain't hear this. Visualization, y'all. We got to visualize it before it can come to fruition. Oh man, that's just what I got out of that. I was gonna ask you, Ron, like it's crazy that the question was, what is the most powerful transformation you've ever witnessed? But I mean, I think you just said it. Like, but what is that, right? Who, how, what is that transformation that you witnessed? Was like, oh, okay, that right there was the most powerful transformation you witnessed.
When you say I witnessed, you mean I saw somebody else go through, or that happened to me?
Either or, whichever one was most powerful, most meaningful.
Different things come to my head, man. When you say that, I mean, things like I prayed for a guy who was crippled who walked. I prayed for a dead man one time. He came back to life. So different things come to my mind that a lot of people won't even understand. So, a transformation for me is when I went through a 40-day fast. The last one I went through, I didn't know how I was going to get from the first day to the seventh day, because normally God prepares me for a 40-day fast. This time, he just let me know you're in the middle of a 40-day fast. I'm like, but I just woke up. I haven't, you're fasting for 40 days. I wasn't prepared, and I didn't know how I was going to get through it. But what God taught me is about his grace and how I begin to flow in and out of grace. And grace is huge, man. When I say grace, it's where God takes over and you have nothing to do with it. It's his ability fortifying your inability. When you say I can, he said you can because here's my grace. And he says, but his grace, man, when Peter walked on the water and began to sink, it was God's grace. He walked in and out of grace. When Peter was stoned to death and he fell asleep, that was God's grace, that he didn't feel any pain. I understand this grace now. When he says, my grace is sufficient for you, his grace takes over and our ability ceases. So yeah, so when you say transformation, I look at my life where it was. I don't know that guy. Uh, I know about him, but I don't have an intimate relationship or a connection to the guy that was 28 years old that accepted God to the man I am today. I know what he went through. I know all of the pain and hurts that he had. It's like watching a TV show. I can give you details about him, but that's not me. My name is Ronald Williams. Nobody calls me Ronald. Everybody calls me Ron. It's almost like the Apostle Paul. His name was Saul. It's like Abraham. His name was Abram. Sarah, her name was Sarai. Peter, his name is Simon Bar-Jonah, but Jesus said, your name is Peter. And upon this rock, I'll build my church. My name changed because my life changed so much. I'm not the same guy.
Hey, y'all. So listen, look, it's 45 after the minute, after the hour, y'all. Bobby gonna show y'all how y'all can get access to both of Ron's trainings in the inside the education platform, right? And then we're gonna put your questions in. I know you guys got questions, but obviously it's Sunday. He's gonna preach today after this show, y'all. So get your questions in so we can answer them and get him going. But we're gonna just do this real quick, go over the announcements. Then when we come back, Ron, we're gonna have you explain your classes right here when we come back. So go ahead and do the announcements, Bobby.
All right, all right. Make some noise for Ron Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely bringing you today's juice on this wonderful Father's Day. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, everybody. Uh, every Sunday, this is where you want to be, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern on the Juice Show, where we keep giving you and bringing you the juice from around the community and hearing people's stories. This is what we do. So this is where we like to be. All right, I'm going to keep it moving. Um, all right. Coming up, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, the introduction to real estate investing with our very own Mr. Jerry Ruffin. He's going to let you know who we are, what we do, and how you can get involved. If you are being touched or if you're looking to do something in real estate investing, this is he's going to go through how to get involved with this and what you need to do and where you need to be. All right. All right. Also coming up, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. Make the call, secure the deal. Cold calling with our very own, the great James Gavin. All right. Coming right up after this as well. So make sure you get with the person who invited you. This is something that you want to do. Make the call, see how it's going down, see how you're talking to different people that is either selling the house or James speaking to these individuals and how these things go. All right. All right, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have the Real Estate Mastermind. This is where you come get your deals analyzed. Come see how they found it, how they're funding it, and what the strategy that they choose and what they're going to do. That is today as well. Get with the person who invited you, and if you've been to some previous events, then you possibly get under this, but this is where you want to be if you want to get to the meats and potatoes of the deal and see how everything goes down. All right. And make sure you come like us on Facebook, on the Juice Show podcast page on Facebook. Make sure you like, follow, leave a review. If you're coming in late or if you would like to see this again, this is the place you can come watch it, check it out, check us out, past podcasts, and, come get your juice. If you're feeling dehydrated, this is where you want to come check out the podcast. And if you have any suggestions, please let us know. We would take that into consideration. That is the link right there. And right now we have deals of the community.
Community.
All right, this is people who's making moves in the community. If you see your name up here in bright lights, that means you are taking action, and we want to share to the people in the community and outside of the community what people are doing. We want to salute each and every one of you for taking action and being involved with the community and letting us know how it's going down. So this is what it is. So we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, now bring up that first slide before we go into the questions of his classes. Bring that back.
All right. Have to go through these again?
No, just the first slide, very first slide, very first.
Yeah. Oh, hold up 1 second. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all, so my bad.
Cool, it's cool.
All right. There we go.
There we go. Talk to us, Ron. Tell us
Hey,
why your champion life, they should get into that, why they should check out Most Valuable Real Estate.
well, one is with the most valuable real estate. As I said before, the most valuable real estate is you. You are the most valuable real estate, and you've got to see your value and realize that there's creativity inside of you, and you can go as far as your mind will allow you. And there's no limitations. You are limited by your um, by your ability to visualize the possibilities. People don't get where they are by just dreaming. And as I said, when you come to the place where you're ready to wake up from that dream, roll up your sleeves and move forward, there's nothing you can accomplish. But the problem is, do you believe that you can do it? One of the things we talk about is I ams and I am actionable beliefs. I started in on this a little bit, Jerry, and it was this. I ams is who you are. Actionable beliefs fights against that little voice that says, who do you think you are? You can't do this. That's your pride. That's this. Other people coming against you saying, I don't think you can do that. I am actionable beliefs are the proof. It's not just I ams are not just words that you are saying. They're not just um, what do you call it? Words of affirmation. I am actionable beliefs are real. They are real. And so what happens, it looks like this. I am Mr. Universe. Who do you think you are? You've never won anything. How could you be Mr. Universe? You're this, you're black, you came from this neighborhood, you're not Mr. Universe. These people so I have an actionable belief. Oh, I've studied all their lives. I train better than they do. I trained so well that I became a college professor in exercise physiology. Oh, nutrition, also a college professor in nutrition. I know how they eat. I eat better than they do. So I've got actionable beliefs that back it up. So when those voices come, when life says you can't, I've got the actionable beliefs that prove that I am. So I can continue to say, I am Mr. Universe. And I visualize it. Nothing can stop me from standing on stage and the world agreeing with who I say I am.
Mm.
So that's why that's so important to be able to visualize, to be able to um, develop your I am statements. I am a good husband, not just because my wife says it, but I find out what a good husband does and become that. And then I can say, I am a good husband by God's standard, and now by my standard, and my wife appreciates it. You asked her, is he a good? Oh yeah, he's a great husband. But you know what? I can be better. So I'm constantly growing in every area of my life: faith, family, fitness, and finances. Now, I've gone through some hard struggles. I'm just going to be real with you. I've gone through a bankruptcy where I am successful. I am financially well off. And the bankruptcy say, no, you're not. But guess what? I'm not a failure. I told y'all this earlier. You're not a failure until you try the last time. If you get up and you keep pushing, you're going to succeed. I don't take no for an answer. I don't believe that I can fail. I am not a failure. I am not a failure. I am a success. And I've got actionable beliefs to prove it. There you go.
That's it, man. How do you help people see their own potential that they don't even believe in themselves?
Man, you said something right there. Oftentimes with the people that I coach, what I do is I believe in them until I don't need to. What does that mean? I believe in them and I develop a relationship where they start to believe in me. And when they believe in me, they believe in what I see in them until they believe in them, and then they don't need me anymore. And I'm always there anyway. I'm like gum on a shoe. It's hard to get rid of me, man. Once I'm in, I'm in. So
Carla
yeah,
said,
so
oh,
I believe in them. I believe in people, and all of us have potential. All of us have success inside of us. We just have to dig in and pull it out. And that's my job. Dig in and pull it out. Troubleshoot. Find out, what is this? And that's a gift and a skill that I was given.
hey, you got people in Facebook saying, Coach Ron, you know Chelsea Gonzalez. She goes, Coach Ron is such an idea magnet. She goes, beautiful example of resilience, faithfulness, and can lead to and mentor from afar forever. So that's what Miss Chelsea Gonzalez said about you. Carla says, happy Father's Day to you, Ron. What is one consistent daily habit that you would recommend an individual implement in each of the four successful areas: faith, family, fitness, and finance?
And
That's an
fun.
easy one. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Uh, Faith, family, fitness, and finances. Those are my four. Some other people like fun. But fun comes along with just being who you are. But faith is the number one thing, because if nobody believes in you, there's one that does. The one who created you has a purpose for your life, and your purpose is your potential. Your purpose is your potential. So if we don't reach our potential, we're not fulfilling our complete purpose. And our purpose is found in the mind of the creator. I created the Iron Chest Master. And if I would go through the TSA in the airport, and they would say, oh, what is this? They don't know what it is. They're asking the mind of the creator. I know what it is. I created it. I know what it does. I know how it works. So if you want to find out the purpose of a thing, go to the mind of the creator. And what I had to do is go to the mind of my creator to find out what my purpose is. So if you really want to know the full potential, the full purpose that God gave you, it's already in his mind. So we just have to glean from what's in his mind. And you do that by getting close to him. So
Oh,
that would be number one.
so Ron, could you put in the chat if people wanted to get hold to the chess master, if they want to get hold to your books? He got, you guys, when I tell you I've ate some of the best eggs cooked by this guy in water, okay? And they super fluffy, like how do you cook eggs in water? I'm telling you, y'all. So he got this faith and family, faith and fat loss book that got all these different kind of ingredients and foods that we eat on a daily, but prepared in such a healthier way. So you guys definitely want to check that out. I should have had it right here to show you guys, but we're gonna have him put this information inside of the chat for you guys to get access to it. If you can, I think LaShawn, can you copy and paste it from his flyer?
Yes, we'll do.
Is in there. So we'll have it in there. You guys can get it in the back office on the team stuff. If you guys want to get access to any of his stuff. And how many patents do you own?
We have four. We're working on the fifth one. This fifth one is almost impossible to have because it's intellectual property of systems. And this is a system that gives you a beeline to physical results. And it's hard to impossible to have a program patented, but we have one that's patentable. We're in the process of patenting it right now. And it's four different energy systems, four different body sculpting systems that you line up together. And when you line them up together, it gives you a beeline to your results. Now, the problem with a lot of people is they eat a little better and they start working out, but the results are real slow because you don't have a beeline. And from my background, I've played so many different sports. And I learned that when you swim, it develops your body like this. When you bodybuild, it develops your body like this. When you run track, it develops your body like this. I don't want to learn the skills. I just want my body developed. So I take the principles without the skill and put that into what you want to accomplish and develop it all the way across the board. And so that's a patentable process that we're patenting right now.
So y'all hear his story, where he comes from. This guy's doing patents. He's got doctorate degrees. He's like just supporting as a health coach, right? Like minister. He's about to go and preach to the people. Like, man, so many accolades. I just want to thank you for coming on, sharing. And I want you to know too, Ron, I had Father's Day. I had already written it down in my head that I'm gonna get Ron on the Juice Show on Father's Day.
See, it's working.
It worked.
It's
right?
working.
It worked. So thank you so much for coming on, being the person that you are. I wish we could have dived into the aces so people can really see like what this is. So that means you got to come back, Ron. That's all that means. You got to come back so you can share the aces. And he got so much powerful stuff, y'all. Like man, I wanted to ask you this, Ron. What do you think in common does a preacher, a comedian, and a boxer? What is it to me? Because I always hear they pass. It's always a struggle pass. So it just seems like that common theme, that common thread of those three professions is that kind of past and then that transformation. You know, is that something that you recognized?
I don't understand the question. A preacher, a comedian, and
like the boxer or physical
boxer.
fighter, they kind of
Okay.
to me like they always have this back pass that is kind of like trauma, right?
Oh, a comedian. Probably. Yeah, I don't know what they have in common. I don't know. I think we all have that in common. I think we all have our own story, and it's relative. Even though you look at my story and say, "Oh, wow, that's horrible," but we all have a story, and it's relative, and we all struggle. We all have pains and hurts, regardless of what it looks like on the outside. All of us need help. When I go to places to minister and people are looking at me trying to figure out who is this guy? What is he going to tell me? Is he okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect, but I'm a lot better than I used to be, and I'm still working through some things. But I'm at least a step ahead of most people, so I can help them to my point as we proceed forward. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Like I said, man, I really truly appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, being who you are for the community. Because I know people that you have really touched in this community, really have changed their lives, and I'm one included. So I thank you, my brother, coming on, and I will be in touch for sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
God bless you guys. I love you, and thank you so much for having me on. And yeah, I'll be praying for you, man.
all right, don't leave. Yeah,
Hey,
I got.
Ron, I just wanted to. Hey, Ron, I just wanted to say I appreciate you ever so much for being so transparent and sharing your life story, because some people would be ashamed and they would not want to share that, and they would want to move on from where they've grown. But you've shown that you can come from any place in your life and still move forward. And you're not who you used to be, you're who you want to be and how to get there. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And thank you, Ron, for when you came to Chicago. You worked us out so bad. I was like, man, what's this machine or something? This little patented machine that you got. So I'm like, man, I need one of these. So I got to start working out. Now it's been sitting in the corner for a little while. I still got it. So I got this one. Then we got that Father's Day special for the Iron Chess Master. So I went and ordered that last night. So you guys, the link is in the chat. You guys, Ron is a coach, physical fitness. He has proven results all on his Facebook page. of countless of people, lost weight, got into shape, and started believing more in themselves. Ron, thank you so much for putting so much out here. And last night he said, man, I just want to be able to help people. And that's the spirit that he comes from. So Ron, thank you for your time being on the Juice Show, and can't wait to have you again.
Sir, appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Enjoy, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday. We really appreciate you spending time here with us, and Ron for bringing the juice. All the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hope your day is wonderful. You get to spend it with your family and friends and just take in a good time and good vibes of what today brings. So with that said, everybody, you have been juiced.
Juice, juice,
Been
juice.
juiced.
Happy Father's
Is
Day,
the link
juice.
is
All
the
right,
link in the
everybody.
chat? Is the link in the chat for people to get to the recording if they want to watch it again?
Yeah, Facebook page. You'll see the Juice
Got
Show
it.
page is in the
Yep.
chat. To take your time.
Absolutely.
See it. Thank you.
And
All
if
right.
y'all want to
All
tell me,
right.
Ron, I didn't have your link, because if y'all want to go to church, Ron about to go to church and he go live on Facebook. And
Yes.
so
Put that in
you
the
put
chat,
that in the chat,
please,
Ron.
Ron.
He's on every
Okay.
Sunday, y'all. Every Sunday.
Oh, Tanya, come help him.
He's to put it in there for us.
He gonna put
Thank
it.
you.
Y'all want to go get some church? Go and pray with Brother Ron. Show.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the link, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much. So we are definitely getting the spiritual of mindset and body, and now you're about to get the spiritual. And then after that, real estate. Just keep it going for the whole Sunday. Super Sunday. Absolutely. Thank you.
We try to bring you guys the best of the best we can find, because we want to make sure we add value to everybody's life. You leave here transformed and believing in yourself and knowing what
And
you
there it is.
There you go. RonWilliamsMinistries.com, y'all.
Yes.
One more big clap for Big Ron. Let's go.
Woo, woo. Thank you, Ron. Can't wait for you to come back again.
Okay, God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.